never know when your world is about to change.
I can feel his club, yeah. I can feel his drink, yeah. I can feel a good vibe coming over me. Oh, I can feel a party, yeah. It's somebody's birthday, happy birthday. I can feel a groove, yeah. I feel a DJ, yeah. I can feel joy. I can feel trust around me. I can feel people, and I can feel the love, and it's all in the air tonight. And it's all in the air tonight. It's all in the air tonight. It's all in the air tonight. I can feel a high, and I can feel a shot. Oh, I feel all the ladies in here looking so hot. Oh, I feel them on top. Yeah, feels like a good day. Oh, it feels like everybody's happy, and it makes me feel great. Oh, and it's all in the air tonight. Yeah, and it's all in the air tonight. Yeah, oh, it's all in the air tonight. Yeah, oh, it's all in the air tonight. Oh, so come on, let's stop all this hate and let's start celebrating. Yeah. Life is too short for this drama, pain, and madness. Let's have drinks and party up until we see the morning. Let's make a toast to change, 'cause I feel it's coming, and it's all in the air tonight. Oh, it's all in the air tonight. Oh, it's all in the air tonight. I can feel it, yeah, all around. It's all in the air tonight. And I'm so glad that the spirit comes. It's all in the air tonight. Can you feel it in the air? Oh yeah, it's all in the air tonight. Blessings and miracles, yeah. I'm claiming it. Oh, I'm claiming it. Yeah, I'm claiming it. Oh, you know I'm claiming it. Yeah, it's mine, y'all.
Hello everybody. Today I want to talk about some more surviving R. Kelly, and today I'm focusing on Miss Lisa Van Allen. Now, when I first watched Surviving R. Kelly and I heard her story, it sounded so convincing, but there was some problems with that story. See, as you figured out by now, every last witness from this docuseries only told half of every story they told. They never told any part that made themselves look bad, and they never told the whole truth. And that is why I will not mute R. Kelly, and I do not support surviving R. Kelly. Because if you wanted to mute R. Kelly, you should have provided the general public with some facts. And all you gave us was bullshit. So now I'm finna break it down. First, let me let Lisa Van Allen replay you her side of the story. Let's go.
When I figured out that I had sex with a 14-year-old, it made me feel betrayed because he lied to me and told me she was 16, which would have been close to my age. A bunch of different
Hold up. He left you in there with a bag. You just had to see what was in it. You just happen to pop. Okay, whatever.
With him having sex with. I watched it, and as I fast forwarded some, I see other scenes with just him and her, without me. Her face, her chest, just wherever it was going, he just was as if she was a toilet. He was just being, just letting it go wherever. I thought it was gross and weird and belittling. When I saw it, it upset me, and I didn't want him to have possession of the tape anymore because I was on it and I took it and kept it on me. And when I got a chance to go back to my hotel room, I left it at my hotel room, and he never noticed it was gone. I actually didn't hold on to the tape that long at all because I was afraid that he'd find out that I had it. I befriended a few of his other artists, and I actually asked one of them if they could hold the tape for me.
Hold up. You befriended one of his other artists. But I thought you said y'all had to look down, y'all couldn't talk to other men. Like, I'm confused. How did you get this tape to this man you can't talk to? How did you spark this relationship with this man you can't talk to? I'm confused.
Chicago sometimes contacted me and wanted me to come down to their offices to view tapes that possibly had girls on it that I may have known.
Hold up. Chicago contacted her. Hold up. The newspaper contacted her, Sparkle, an R&B singer, to identify some people she might know. Not call the police, not turn this over. What the Okay.
Hey, my niece has the same hairstyle. Like you hear things, but to see it visually, and for her to be so young, you really, like, it's over with, but it still haunts me. And I hate this that it happened. I should have never introduced her to him. I should have never introduced my family.
You think?
How dare you? How dare you? I've been speaking out against him for years. Lisa Van Allen knows R&B singer R. Kelly's alleged sordid side far too well. She was just 17 when she says the singer seduced her, and they began an abusive 9-year relationship, one in which she witnessed many things she claims confirms the worst accusations against him. She was also the first woman to openly confront R. Kelly, taking the stand against him in 2008 when he faced 14 counts of child pornography. He would be acquitted of all charges in that trial, but could now be facing new ones. And Lisa Van Allen remains his most outspoken critic and advocate for his alleged victims. Lisa Van Allen joins me now. Remember, she risked charges against herself when she came forward about being in a sex tape that involved minors and was granted immunity for her testimony. I know this is hard to do.
Now y'all heard that right. She was granted immunity for her testimony. Okay. But it was all about money. That's what it looks like to me. Let's see what else is said here. Alright. But you clearly see Keith Morrell and Charles Chuck Freeman were the two people that Lisa Van... So just to reiterate this fact, another article, June 2008. A witness in R. Kelly's pornography trial in Chicago claims she was paid $100,000 to return a sex tape she made with R. Kelly and the underage girl. The newly unsealed court documents reveal Lisa Van Allen claimed an associate of Kelly's, I already mentioned them, paid her the money to give back a tape she snatched from Kelly's duffel bag with the intention of blackmailing the singer. Van Allen said in court the tape showed her, Kelly, and the same girl who was the focus of the child pornography sex trial. She also said one of Kelly's employees threatened her. Okay? This is what they said. Miss Van Allen is an admitted thief and liar. Kelly's representative, Alan Mayer, told the newspaper she wasn't believed in court and she shouldn't be believed now. So, with all that being said, all I'm saying is simply this. This is not a very credible person. Yeah, I'm sure she probably went through some stuff, but at the end of the day, she had an intent on money. All I'm saying is her story does not make sense. And I don't like the fact that they left out a lot of key important facts in this docuseries. So there you have it. So, if you would, just do me one quick favor. Subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, thumbs up. If you didn't, leave a comment why. And we'll see what I can do on the next one. Have a good day.
Lisa, there are fans that say all they care about is
Robert and her niece. But the thing is, Sparkle failed to tell the public that she also had a relationship with R. Kelly while she was married. R. Kelly and the guy from the public announcement group were in the same group. Meanwhile, he's smashing his wife. And she wants to tell the public that R. Kelly didn't want her to have boyfriends. But she was married. So, anyways, she starts to think that something is going on between her niece and R. Kelly. She begins to call child services, in which they dismissed her claims. And then that's when I feel like, being that she was a partner of R. Kelly's, she knew that he recorded his sexual endeavors. So all she needed was somebody to go in there and take the tape. And that's where I feel Lisa Van Allen came into play. And from there, Lisa Van Allen gave that tape to Keith. And Keith is partners with Charles Freeman. Now let's fast forward. R. Kelly in 2001 is told that Lisa Van Allen stole one of the sex tapes. She claims nobody asked for money, but that is a lie, because that was the sole purpose in taking the tapes in the first place, was to extort money. But the whole plan backfired. She's saying because they went through this whole lie detector test and it came that there was copies of the tapes, and I could believe that. But either way it go, pay attention to all these key players that I just pointed out to you. You have Keith Morrell, Charles, who were both group members. You have Sparkle, who wanted a career, who was sleeping with him. You have Lisa Van Allen, who was sleeping with him, and the underage girl. So, according to this article, Charles Freeman filed a lawsuit against R. Kelly and his manager at the time, Daryl McDavid. In the suit, Freeman claims that he entered into an agreement in 2001 with R. Kelly and McDavid to act as a private investigator and retrieve tapes relevant to R. Kelly's then upcoming child pornography trial. R. Kelly was accused of 21 counts of child pornography. The trial was delayed until 2008, centered on a tape that allegedly showed R. Kelly having sex with a 14-year-old girl. This is images from the lawsuit. Here we go. First page. Y'all can pause this and read it if you like. This is the second page. So, there's the first part of the puzzle. I believe this sex tape was an extortion attempt from the beginning. All of the players lined up were people who were scorned. All of these people, minus Sparkle, I believe, were monetarily compensated in some way, form, or fashion, whether they sued R. Kelly or not. If you do a quick Google search, you can see just how often this sex tape keeps getting brought up. In 2001, anonymously, someone sent this tape to a newspaper, and they contacted Sparkle, not the police first, Sparkle, to identify the person. Just another thought, in case some of you haven't heard, about Damon Pryor, who was Lisa Van Allen's child's father. Rumor has it, she admitted it was him in the video. But, hey, could have been, couldn't have not been. If it was him in the video, that would explain why R. Kelly did not pay the additional money that was being requested. So, according to this article, in January 2001, a man by the name of Derogatus, who works at the Sun-Times, received a sex tape showing R. Kelly with the underage girl from an anonymous source. So somehow somebody comes up with the sex tape and mails it to the newspaper. The editors of the times elected to provide the tape to the Chicago Police Department, which investigated its contents, but was unable to verify the age or identity of the woman. So that was in 2001. So then come back 2002, they come back with a second tape. So y'all keep talking about there's two tapes. There's always been two tapes. 2002 February, Chicago police investigate Kelly over sex tape with the apparent 14-year-old. The same person received yet another anonymous source tape, which purported to show Kelly having sex with an underage girl. Another key point they leave out, the girl who was 17 at the time of the story, so 2002, she was 17, and identified by her aunt, Sparkle, for a Sun-Times story. So, according to another article I read, the Sun-Times contacted Sparkle to identify the girl on the tape, and which she says is her niece. It's a lot of hands touching this child porn. Another key point they leave out is that Kelly's relationship with the girl for 3 years before they received the video but yet her parents and the girl deny anything was going on with the two. So now the authorities felt like they had the nail in the coffin with this sex tape.
You know what I mean?
Girl, who the hell you fooling? You know. This your first album, and a man just verbally violates you in front of your parents, and it's cool, and you still at that point think it's cool for your niece to be in affiliation with this person. I don't care if you thought she was by herself or not. You don't think. Since you care so much, I would take more initiative to make sure I'm around when she's supposed to go down to the studio for whatever reason. Make it make sense, Sparkle. Somebody said that to your parent and you still gonna complete an album with him. That's all you wanted. You like, forget it. I'll let him say what he say. We gonna do what we do while we get this album done. Just say that. Be honest.
But, that's disgusting. Yo, we left out of there. I'm in the backseat of my parents' car, and my dad turns around, he's like, baby, I ain't gonna even say what he said, but I should have took heed.
Why would he say, baby, I ain't even gonna say what he said if you heard him say it? Why would he say what he said if you heard him say it? That don't make sense. So, are you repeating what your father said he said? Or did you not hear it? Come on now.
Back to the tape. On it.
I wonder, was this lawyer named Michael Avenatti with his scheming ass? And hold up. How you say an attorney contacted you first about the sex tape when I read in the article back in 99, 2000, might have been 2002, when you said the Sun newspaper contacted you and told you to come look at the tape. Girl, you better make up your mind and make this story make sense, because y'all lying. Go ahead.
And I would like for you to go to your sister and your brother-in-law and get them to acquire me as their lawyer, so I can,
You hear that? The lawyer contacts Sparkle about an alleged sex tape. And I already pointed out a while ago, I believe the girl was 16. That's why they're not mentioning right now that she was underage, because at the time she really wasn't, and she keep deviating from the truth, so she missing important facts. Why would an attorney, if it was a child on this tape, contact another person, not the mother, not the father? Oh, I just know Sparkle is her aunt, so I'm gonna call her. I ain't gonna take it to the police. I ain't gonna do what is legal. I'm gonna let other people watch this child pornography. Make it make sense.
Defend them in this tape.
So, this child pornography done went through a lawyer, his accomplice, or whoever he got working for him, Sparkle. She gonna call her family, and they tell her, nah, they ain't trying to see you. You wanna know why? Cause they peep game. She already done called the Child Protective Service on the man. It sound like to me, either A, maybe they knew what was going on with Rashonda and R. Kelly, or B, she was of consent age.
The guy leaves, call my family in an uproar like she's on a tape, da-da-da-da-da. And you're not even thinking that your sister and brother-in-law know about.
What's going on, everybody? Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. I'm going to come back and acknowledge you all in just a second, but I just wanted to stop because in case some of you haven't picked up, I'm just reviewing some of my videos I've done as well. And I'm going to come back and update that with the new information that I found as soon as this video is finished. So with that, I just stopped it because as I continue to search, I've come to the conclusion that it's not Rashonda in the video. So I just had to stop, pause, and interject.
This or I don't know.
No, bitch. Robert ain't got to them. You got to them with this fuckery. Don't make no damn sense. A lawyer did all this fuck shit. And then gonna say, trying to solicit a client, oh, y'all need to hire me. That ain't how you, the fuck? Okay.
So this is a more recent photo of Rashonda. In the back there, that is her father, Greg Landfair. And just a side note, Greg Landfair is still a guitarist for R. Kelly. Yeah. His daughter allegedly gets peed on, and he's still playing guitar for this man. So what does that say? Was she really 14? In a consensual relationship? What's really going on? I don't know anybody that would allow that and still play music for this person.
So rather than latch on to this illegal sex tape and use that as the catalyst to put this man away, why not do things correctly? Like if you go on down this interview, the interviewer asks, how can you say she's 14? She replies, I can't say with certainty. What are we talking about? Hush. She can't say with certainty that her niece was 14 at the time of the video, which was date stamped at around 99 or 2000, which I believe put her at 16 or 17, which was legal consent age, even though it's still wrong. Go look it up yourself if you don't believe me. The Chicago Sun-Times. It was published in 2002. And that's just my wrap-up of this sex tape. It was all an extortion plot from the beginning. Sparkle's story keeps switching up. One minute she says this person gave it to her. In this interview, he asked, did it come from an attorney? She says she doesn't know, and then she says it could have been. So she really don't know. All she knows is she got a phone call that answered her prayers to finally bring down R. Kelly, and she jumped on the bandwagon. And this is what happens. I do not believe that girl was 14 in that tape. You can say what you want to say and believe what you want to believe at the end of the day. And the fact that they're using Rashonda Landfair again, even though they have a signed affidavit from both her and her parents saying that it's not her in the video, they are, in my opinion, trying to double jeopardy R. Kelly. Now, if they had left Rashonda out of this case and just had the other three, then I wouldn't say that. But hey, they put her back in the mix, so this is what I'm talking about. If you like this video, thumbs up. If you didn't, give me your comments. Let's see what we can do to keep this channel rolling with some truths, with some facts, and not just biased opinions.
So just checking, can anybody still hear me? Comment below. If not, I'm going to end it and try to come back. I don't know what the hell going on. But YouTube just blocked me talking about some policy violation. I don't know what the hell. But anyways, let's get this live started. And as you see by the title, we're talking about Lisa Van Allen. She, of course, was a key witness in the first trial and had a lot to say through the Surviving R. Kelly docuseries. And in the last couple days, she's had a lot to say via social media in support of Tim Savage. So let me just put a little bit more information out there in regards to Lisa Van Allen. Some may know this information, some may not. But we finna get into it. So, what got me about Lisa Van Allen is how she wants to continuously portray R. Kelly as a pedophile. But old articles she did, like in the previous trial, it was a little bit more based around the truth. And you could see the difference in her tone. Like, for example, in this Essence article, she would say things like, see, that's the thing, he doesn't act his age. His conversations are pretty much on a 17 or 18-year-old's grade level. He would crack jokes a lot. We would go to McDonald's all the time. He liked to go hoops, basketball gym every night, etc. Essence asked her, "Did you consider him to be your boyfriend?" She replied, in her head, she did until she found out that he was married. But the thing was, even when she found out he was married, she still didn't care. As this points out, she said she was even around her. She said they've crossed paths, but she was never introduced to her. She doesn't think she knew who she was to him, but she definitely knew that she was around. She's referring to Drea Kelly. So again, people keep saying that these girls didn't know each other. Yes, they did. She said she didn't know how their relationship works because he was around her a lot. So they had to live separate lives. So even though she found out he was married, she was still content being the side chick. Doesn't really sound like the version of an abused woman. She goes on to say, he took care of everything. I did whatever he was doing. The day would start in the evening. We'd get a bite to eat, he'd record a little, and then we'd go to hoops. Then we'd go to McDonald's, he'd record through the whole night, and then we'd sleep all morning. She says, we never had a conversation about him preferring teenage girls, but yes, from her opinion, from just her and the situation supposedly with the singer who passed, referring to Aaliyah. So she's saying that she felt like that he liked younger girls specifically because he was dating her and because of what she heard about him and Aaliyah. She also goes to say she didn't know if she should really discuss him and Aaliyah at that time. But it's funny now all of a sudden she has absolutely no quarrels about talking about her so disrespectfully on the Vlad interview she did. She said basically all he told her about that was that they did get married and that they went to Vegas for the marriage. He didn't say how old she was. Now, wait a gosh darn minute. I could have sworn in the docuseries they got married in Illinois, in Cook County. Ain't that what the damn ain't that what the, marriage certificate said? I could pull it up in a second. But I could have sworn that is the fact. So, according to Lisa Van Allen, she's saying he said they went to Vegas to get married and he never told her how old she was. But that's pretty much all he talked about. But according to her Vlad interview, she talking about all him and Aaliyah's mom, they all slept together and all this extra shit. Like, this is what I'm talking about. This the person people listening to. Right here, you will notice this is where she trying to clear up her age. Because I feel like she could have met him maybe 17, but she was turning 18. And maybe that's when their relationship started. Because this is when she trying to justify her age, saying my birthday is in June, so half of 98 I was 17 and the other half I was 18. I met her at his house for a threesome. That was the first threesome we all had together. He would videotape it. I guess she's referring to Rashonda. But I've come to find out it was not Rashonda that she was having this threesome with. Some of you may know, and I'm not going to really go into who that other person is because I haven't seen any interviews or anything posted from that person. Y'all could comment if y'all know that person, but I'm going to just move on along. Essence asks, "You never suspected that she was younger than 16?" Van Allen says, "Not at all. She acted like she was my age and she was much more developed than her." So, according to what other people are saying, the person in the video didn't have much, they weren't so developed. So, if Lisa Van Allen is saying that the girl that was allegedly in the sex tape was much more endowed than she was, I'm trying to figure that out. Here's where she's getting to the roots of the problem, in which she's letting it be known that she really didn't like having threesomes with R. Kelly because she wanted him all to herself. Just like some women, they might start off liking that type of lifestyle, but then catch feelings and want a monogamous relationship. Unfortunately, she wasn't dealing with that, and I feel like that was the beginning to the bullshit. She says, "When you love somebody, you don't want them with anybody else." She was still young and trying to understand what love is and how it should feel. He was taking care of her, paying all her bills, and she was living under him. She had no idea what would happen. She just didn't want to upset him. That was her answer as far as to why she didn't leave R. Kelly. Not that she was being held hostage, not that she couldn't leave, not that she was being abused, but that she didn't want to upset him. And she also mentioned how he was taking care of everything. So, that's why she didn't leave him. This is the Vlad interview I referenced, in which she so openly said R. Kelly told her about having sex with Aaliyah and her mom. But clearly, if you go back to the old Essence article, I have it in the little box, she's saying he didn't tell her much about Aaliyah. So there, she lying. As far as people saying that she was jealous about Drea Kelly, I mean, she could have been at some point, but let's blow up her response and let's compare it to what she's saying now. As far as she's such a victim, it was such a boring life. She couldn't do much. She had to look down. She was being abused, right? So, somebody called her out, in which she replied, called her out about Drea Kelly, in which she replied she didn't know about Drea, just like the rest of the world didn't know until after she moved to Chicago with Rob. A runner slipped and said it and was fired for it. He said she was cool and knew about his lifestyle, meaning that Drea Kelly was okay with him having multiple girlfriends. I even would call the mansion in Olympia Fields on Sunday if I needed him. Rob slept with me for 3 years every day because we didn't sleep at night except Sunday. She may have had the home, but like she said, she was in prison while I was doing videos, traveling, shopping, and he was making hits about me, attending music awards, pulling me on stage on tour after singing Half on a Baby, getting my hair. That sounds like a victim, huh? Yeah, right. Then she go on to say, "How could I hate someone who hasn't done anything to me? I don't even hate Rob, and he used all of us, to be honest. So Drea can speak about they old ass relationship, but I can't. Doesn't the world deserve the facts? I was the first to come out, and I'm not charging. I guess that's supposed to be changing my story. It's free. raise awareness. So she's saying her story is free. Meanwhile, she's charging for her book. So, in other words, it's not free. Now, let's get into this sex tape. If you were on my last live, in which, not my last live, the live before my last with Jim Derogatis as my topic, if you didn't, go back and check it out. But at the end of the day, they keep throwing out this threesome that occurred. But I don't see anyone referencing a threesome taking place on the video that they've seen. They see a man and a girl. Actually, they see two different men. Technically. But you notice how they keep shifting from that. Because Lisa Van Allen keeps shifting away from the fact that it was her on that tape. Let's get into this source article. As R. Kelly and his legal team gear up to combat a new slate of sex tape footage, details of what appears on the tapes are emerging, which triggered an alleged past victim to speak out. Lisa Van Allen, who allegedly appeared on the infamous first tape, says that the acts depicted on the new tapes sounds similar to her ordeal. She allegedly appeared on the first tape. Did y'all catch that? But let all these little bullshit ass bloggers put out there, it was Rashonda in the sex tape. I could swear my eyes are not tripping, but that says it was Lisa Van Allen who allegedly appeared on the infamous first tape. Okay? TMZ know this shit too. That's why I said y'all should mute them. Some of y'all still get entertained by the fuckery, but let me tell you, TMZ reported a long time ago Lisa Van Allen was on TMZ Live Wednesday, and she told us the descriptions of the new tapes are basically par for the first course. Lisa was one of the two young women on the original sex tape, for which he went on trial, but was ultimately acquitted in 2008. She was 17 at the time the tape was recorded. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Did that or did that not just say Lisa Van Allen was the person, one of the people on the trial, on the tape? The other person is who I was referring to earlier. If y'all know her, drop it. I ain't even gonna go there because, as I said, I like to speak facts. I don't have anything to pull up with her specifically on, so I'll just keep it moving with Lisa Van Allen. For a fact, was on the first sex tape in which R. Kelly was on trial, in which it's noted she was 17 at the time. Being that he lived in Chicago, 17 was the consent age. I don't know what we're talking about with this child porn. So that's the answer as far as people asking why is this tape still readily available across certain porn sites, and even when it's deleted, it's re-uploaded, is because technically, depending on how you want to look at it, it's not considered child porn. Child porn is younger kids. Going on to the article, it says they cannot pinpoint her age because they're not exactly sure when any of the videos were made. So, contrary to what other people were saying, the videos could not have been time stamped if they could not validate when the tapes were made. Defense attorneys accused Van Allen of trying to extort $30,000 from Kelly in exchange for her silence. Van Allen denied that in court, which, if you go back to her recent interviews now, she's openly talking about the exchange of the money as a gift, allegedly. She did, however, testify that she stole a $20,000 diamond Rolex watch from R. Kelly. So not only is Lisa Van Allen a liar, but she's a thief. And she wants us to take in consideration her viewpoint on R. Kelly being a monster. She testified she took the tape while she was still involved with R. Kelly because she was ashamed of it. She said the tape was of her, Kelly, and the underage girl at the center of the trial having group sex. However, we all know that ain't what was allegedly depicted on the tape. I don't hear anybody saying they have seen a threesome. It's been two individuals partaking in sexual acts. So that was a recap of some of her old articles. And in case some of you don't know, Lisa Van Allen has 3 baby daddies, in which we all know the infamous Damon Pryor at the top right, who openly admitted that it was him and her on the tape. And I'm not sure if he's going to be subpoenaed for the upcoming trial or not, but that was in talks because if you go back to other reports, he was interested in being a witness. And then you'll see this other baby daddy to the bottom left who seems to think he a pimp. I don't see Lisa Van Allen speaking out on him. What gets me is that Lisa Van Allen was asked to appear on Jada Pinkett's Red Table Talk. And what kind of threw me off was after the fact, Jada Pinkett thought it would be the perfect opportunity to announce to the world how she had this very deep, obsession with porn. And with that obsession, she watched a specific porn star every single day. And that porn star was Mr. Marcus. And if you don't know who Mr. Marcus is, I didn't know. I had to look him up. Mr. Marcus is the porn star that openly gave other porn stars syphilis because he altered his test so that he can continue to make his porn. So my thing is the timing and why Jada Pinkett decided to announce to the world this porn addiction, and even more so the person she used to watch who not allegedly but factually gave syphilis to vulnerable, women who were given the impression that, hey, everybody's being tested, he's supposed to be clean. Meanwhile, he's altered his test so that he could make a quick dollar. And Jada Pinkett is slick promoting this guy and calling R. Kelly the monster. How does that make any sense? And not only that, Jada Pinkett invites these two women on her show without taking in consideration that at the same time that this woman is talking about how she was sexually abused, her daughter is all over the internet escorting through Snapchat. And I'm trying to figure out how does that even make sense? Because by the time you uploading all this shit basically for free, who the hell would actually continue to pay for it? You know, in today's society, men are the type that they might pay for it once, record it, and share it. So I don't even understand the hustle in a woman deciding to do that at this day and age. But nonetheless, Jada Pinkett didn't think to look these people up. She's in the industry. If nothing else, she could have reached out to R. Kelly and gave him the opportunity to express his opinion. Maybe he could have warned her on why not to give her platform to this fuckery. And as far as people being overly anxious with the fake news out there, you have to realize that a lot of this fake news is being generated by people like Tim Savage and Angelo Clary, who intentionally distribute fake reports and fake source information to throw the media because they know most of these so-called journalists and bloggers do not research the information they're giving. But in this article, she clearly and openly admitted that when she took the tape and when everything was going down, she knew that they wanted her to identify the person on the tape because they wanted to shake him down, you know, get money out of him, aka extort him for money. What's crazy is you got Angelo Clary on here blasting everybody he get mad. You know, him and Tim Savage had their moment. Then he started calling out other people. Asante, Lisa. He goes to say Lisa doesn't have immunity, so she ought to stop lying, along with the rest of y'all who are trying to spin this narrative because things are not going the way you want them to go. So let me take a second to acknowledge everybody in the chat. Hope y'all are still here. I don't know. It's been so much time and I don't know if I'm still on here, but Brooklyn, Michelle, T is bound. What's up? Vanessa, Brianna, Miss Mel, Malcolm, Tamika, Casey, Tay Tay, Keela, Sassy. What's going on? Ronnie, Precious, Vernisha, Sarita, Shelly, Miss Mel, Lynn, Karen, Bossa Queen, Unrivaled Whitney, Precious 4568. Let's make sure we continue to keep pumping out this information because again, let's hold everybody accountable. If y'all want to talk about y'all want to hold people accountable, let's hold everybody accountable. And I just don't co-sign this fuckery. I mean, this is Lisa Van Allen's daughter. And you got the nerve to post shit like sad how these mothers won't speak up for these young girls. But look at what your young girl is doing. Look at this bullshit. Look, I should strip, but no. Why would you strip when you ass out naked on the internet? Got so many videos like this in my phone just because this is what I do on my free time. This is Lisa Van Allen's daughter. Look at this. I'm side-eyeing Jada Pinkett. I'm side-eyeing everybody that co-signs this bullshit. Because at the end of the day, y'all are sitting here letting these escorts tell y'all that now they are mad that the gravy train has moved on. And it's ridiculous. Jada Pinkett, do better. Lisa Van Allen says she's a survivor, author, abuse advocate, mother, public speaker. So I'm going to need for you to take your abuse advocate having ass over there and figure out what's going on with your daughter. Okay? Because this shit is not cool at all. At all. So, as I was saying, just like dudes will do, somebody got her information, probably paid for it once, and start sharing the shit for free. Crazy. Exactly, Precious. Everybody remembers the photo of when Willow Smith was laid up with the gentleman with his shirt off, which created quite the outrage. And she got the audacity to talk about pedophilia when we all know that pedophilia is a real issue in Hollywood. But the problem is they want to sugarcoat this issue and throw propaganda out there to distract us and even publicly lynch our public figures while letting others slide on by. The age of her being 55, I cannot confirm that. That is a meme that I came across, but it is very well plausible because the more I research these victims, you will notice they like to play with their age. So the more time that passes, the more articles will begin to disappear, and a lot of the articles will focus on the story and not how old they are now. So it'll always be a question. You have to do a deep search to figure out exactly their age. But I don't know, her daughter has mentioned that her mom is older than people think before. So It's possible. Now, this picture that I brought up is to sum up my disgust with Lifetime, my disgust with Walt Disney, my disgust with Mute R. Kelly, my disgust with Me Too, Time's Up, my disgust with all these so-called accusers that are playing the field. It's because, as I said, pedophilia is a real issue in Hollywood. Yet they keep allowing our legends to take the downfall for some bullshit. Now, if they're guilty of any crime, yes, hold them accountable. Prove them guilty of the crime you're accusing them of in the court of law. But don't sit here and concoct these half bullshit ass stories and expect us to run with it. When you sit here and do so many interviews and people can openly, as I did, point out the variations to how you went from pretty much sugar baby out here living the life, doing what you wanted to do, madly in love with this superstar, to now trying to backslide into being a victim because as you continue to say you had sex with this minor, you continue to say that you broke the law yourself. I don't give a shit how you want to look at it. So if you indeed had sex with the minor, yes, you did. So for people to sit here and keep riding her little wave and co-signing her bullshit, it's crazy to me. How can you sit here and be on her fan page clapping and yes, sis, yes, do that. She talking about this man is a pedophile whore. You are too. What the fuck? It don't make no sense to me. Now it seems like to me, if y'all just look at all these people involved, from Keith Murray to Charles Freeman, who had the audacity to sue R. Kelly when R. Kelly didn't finish paying him for this damn sex tape, to Barry Hankerson calling up Jim DeRogatis talking about how he feels like R. Kelly has this big problem with kids liking underage girls, but you don't call the police. You telling this reporter who you know has been chasing R. Kelly for years that you feel like he has a problem with underage girls. Again, all these people setting the stone. So it goes from derogatives to him calling Sparkle. This shit is all connected. And I would be on here all night if I continued to connect this story. But I'm going to stop it right there. Because again, I still have more to say about Jaronda, Asante, Tim Savage. The plot thickens. They wanted to come and use other people's platforms to spill the tea and get the public all riled up because they know how to play on people's emotions. But as I've said in other videos, if they really cared about brown girls, they will really be out here starting organizations to help influence girls to make better decisions. Like if you have such a problem with the way men perceive women, you have to do better with the way you promote women. As time passes, it just seems like women are doing the most raunchy, ratchetest thing possible, all to get a little attention. And for what? Exactly, Lynn Chill. I figured that out when I post things on my social media. And a lot of the times I'll be posting things through the week. If y'all want to add me on my social media accounts, I'll just post things through the week, and I'll notice as the week progresses, somebody else will post the same thing. And I'm like, damn, you could give a bitch some credit. Like, shit, I be up looking and looking and looking, and you can't even just be like, damn, share that, or shout out to you for finding this, or damn. So I decided, let me go on and put this little tag on it, so if somebody do take something from this live stream, y'all gonna know where it came from. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people be clout chasing. And for me, I just want everybody to know the source information is going to come from a person who really cares to research what she's talking about and not just be out here flapping her lips. Got time for that. Cat Khaki McDonald says him and R. Kelly are the same age. When Lisa was involved with him, he was in his late 20s. I mean, again, that's why they like to play with the age, and so much time has passed. That's why they wanted to use this opportunity. I feel, they know the average consumer, the average person out here. They are gonna look at that docu series. They're gonna look at all the shit being blasted on the blogs and think that there lies the truth. They're not gonna take that extra initiative to find out the backstory. But as far as Lifetime and all these other people standing on this surviving R. Kelly, it is mighty funny when Rob Iger was arrested over child molestation allegations himself. If you don't know who he is, just look him up. He has a great share in the Walt Disney. And just in case some of y'all don't know, it's something that I found. Let's see. In doing this little research, I didn't know that it was so much crooked shit going on at the Walt Disney World. They sitting here riding this surviving R. Kelly wave. Meanwhile, dozens of Disney employees have been arrested for orchestrating pedophile rings. Multiple men are being arrested for being involved in pedophile rings. Disney is hiring child molesters to work on the scenes that they are doing the shows for things like Nickelodeon. So at the end of the day, y'all are really believing that these people care about pedophilia. No, they're promoting pedophilia. Pretty soon, pedophilia is going to be a part of this LGBTQAA. I don't even know what the letters are no more because they doing too much shit. I just thought either you gay or straight. Like, I don't even know no more. Miss Mel, that's what's up. I used to listen to Tasha K as well until, like I said, when I made my last video, I just watched all the things that she said leading up to her defamation of R. Kelly. Like some of the other videos she would make, they were just funny. I watched them for entertainment value, nothing to take seriously. But when it started to bother my spirit, the malicious intent behind the videos she put out behind R. Kelly, that's when I realized, nah, I'm not even going to entertain myself with any of her fuckery. She can keep that shit over there. A lot of people overlook the fact, like, it was a topic, big topic when Tyga was dating Kylie Jenner when she was 16. I mean, left his girlfriend, baby mama, to be with this minor. And everybody thought that was the coolest shit ever. Meanwhile, these same people expect me to believe they give a fuck about this new bullshit going on with R. Kelly. The same people that know that Elvis Presley married Priscilla. The same people that sit here and watch this Val Kilmer dude openly date teenagers. I'm not gonna speak on Paul Walker, because of course he is deceased. But hey, again, don't sit here and be blinded in such a uprage talking about R. Kelly. Like R. Kelly is the one out here promoting this pedophilia. And another thing, nobody else thought it was odd that before Donald Trump was elected, this audio came out in which he's openly talking about grabbing women in their crotch area, and he still gets elected. And now all of a sudden he has over a dozen women coming out saying he sexually assaulted them, in which I don't see that blasted all over anywhere. Remember when Charlie Sheen came out as having HIV? Well, the only reason why he came out was because he was being sued for transmitting HIV to someone. That is the only reason why he came out. And yet, did anybody do a docu-series on Charlie Sheen when he was out here winning all over the motherfucking place? Harvey Einstein, fucking funny. The judge put a gag order on his case. We already know where that's finna go. But again, just more to say, these people don't care about the real issue of pedophilia. This has been going on since before. Like, I don't even know if y'all knew who Judy Lewis was. This was in 1935 type. This been going on, pedophilia, but they want you to think otherwise. So, out of all this, I hope people are realizing that y'all need to stop pushing your kids to be celebrities and start pushing them to want to be better, to really accomplish things, to be entrepreneurs, to own businesses, to own land, to get out of the system. Because this industry thing is all a trap. And if you for 1 second are putting all your faith into talent being the driving force to get your child into success, I'm here to tell you that's not what's gonna fucking happen. Your child's success will depend on what you're willing to sacrifice for that child. And it might literally be that child. So think twice before you sign your kids up. Exactly, precious. All this start coming back Well, if you think about it, Robert has been hinting in his music for a while his dissatisfaction in wanting more out of his contract. And especially when he let it all with the admit, that was a all hell no. For him to tell his fans that he doesn't own his masters, his rights to his music, that would be shocking and appalling. Obviously, when you're in the industry, you're not supposed to talk about certain things. And if you do see them talking about certain things, you have to recognize some people are designed to fulfill agendas. And that's what I noticed at the beginning of this Surviving R. Kelly deal was it was designed to promote an agenda. Unfortunately, these women are playing a role into that. And even to this day, it's not too late. So you can even pray for them and hope that they see the light and recognize the error in their way, because we all know when you fight against good, it's not going to come out. So, after reviewing everything that I've had to say about Lisa Van Allen, there's still more that I can say, but I felt like I was running out of time again. As I've said before, I tend to over excess about some of the details in the stories. But again, I want to be thorough. I want to be able to provide y'all with a visual to what I'm saying. Miss Mel said they only did that crap because he lacked understanding of his contracts. If he would have understand more about his masters and such things, he probably would have second thought. Well, I mean, I think he did have second thought. You go back to that I wish video when he's having that conversation and he's like, I want out. Like when I watched that video and when I watched it when it came out, it had a whole different meaning than when I watched it as of today. So I just go back and watch that I wish video again and just see what you perceive out of that message, and then come back and tell me what you get out of that, because I feel like R. Kelly been wanting out of this industry for a while, but as I pointed out in one of my lives, he's still obligated to fulfill two more albums with Sony. And even though Sony allegedly or call themselves dropping him, they still they still are obligated to fulfill those two albums and pay him for that, whether they have already done so or not. So that's just something to think about. Someone commented earlier, Lisa Van Allen's case is going to be dropped. Well, Lisa Van Allen doesn't have a case. That's another thing that people are not understanding. None of the women in the Surviving R. Kelly are involved in the actual case except for Jaronda Pace. So when you exclude every last one of those so-called testimonies, you will have to run up on the fact that Jaronda Pace is the only alleged victim from the docu-series. And with that being said, let's talk about Jaronda Pace. I ain't even gonna do an in-depth on her because I got a whole nother video on her that I want to do. But let me see. So Jaronda Pace, what is it? Okay, this is the better one. Now, I pulled up the actual charge from Jaronda Pace, and it says she was involved between May 2009 and January 31st, 2010. The grand jury returned an indictment 3 counts of aggravated sexual abuse based on the victim being under the age of 17 and Kelly being more than 5 years older than the victim. So that's basically because she was saying she was under the age of 17. But the fact is, she's also openly said that she lied about her age. And not only did she lie to R. Kelly about her age, she lied to the reporters at the first trial, whoever was supposed to be checking IDs at the first trial. She's lied to a lot of people about her age. So at the end of the day, his reasonable defense for Jaronda Pace is clearly mistake of age. And if you don't know what that is, you can look it up real quick. It's basically when she's sitting here lying about her age, you cannot blame him for not knowing her age. So at the end of the day, they could cancel that little charge they have. And with that being said, you have a 3 year statute of limitation to file a sexual assault case. And all these women's, the other 3 women that R. Kelly is being charged for, who were not in the docu-series, were over the age of 17, meaning they were adults, and it was over the 3 year statute of limitations. So again, those charges will be thrown out. So what case do they have? Make it make sense. Nothing. It's taking them all this time to finally produce evidence. And the only thing they can produce is this whack ass DVD. But how the hell you gonna submit a DVD of a sex tape that started out as a VHS tape? Rewind this at some point and go back, and you will clearly see them talking about the tapes, the tapes, the tapes. They were talking about literal VHS tapes. So how did this VHS tape turn into a DVD? Again, this shit is not finna go nowhere, and people keep eating it up. There we go, talking about the mistake of age defense. Some states only allow a statutory rape defendant to raise the defense in limited circumstances. The defense is most commonly allowed in the following situations: where the victim's age was under the age of consent but over a certain minimum age such as 13, and clearly she wasn't 13. And if you didn't catch that, that's why they keep trying to throw in, oh, I met him when I was 14 and da 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 da, and she keep going back and forth with her damn age. Here it is from the BuzzFeed News. And if you don't realize, Jim DeRogatis is responsible for pretty much all the BuzzFeed things you see. So Jim DeRogatis is reporting that Jaronda Pace lied to the reporters and sheriff's officer, and that's how she got in the trial. And if you look at this picture that was posted, this man looked like he's being bothered. Look at her. Like, I don't even know where security was at that time, but they was lacking. And oh, I was gonna save this, but since I showed you, let me go on and just bust Jaronda Pace little fucking bubble, cause she on my fucking nerves, her little ugly ass. This 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 lady, remember? I told y'all this was Jaronda Pace's mother. Jaronda Pace's mother. Look at this woman to the left. That is Jaronda Pace's mother. Look at the lady to the right. That is the woman that was with Jaronda Pace. Let's go to it. Isn't that the who is that? And if you didn't notice, she put a little wig on, she got makeup on, she trying to appear older. What in the fuck? Make this shit make sense. She ain't have to lie to her mama. Her mama sitting right there. So miss me with the dumb shit. I'm on to all y'all ass. And then man, you know what? I'm done talking about Jaronda right now, cause I got a whole nother video coming for her. Tell you that. But it's getting late, so I wanna wrap this video up. I think I touched all bases with Lisa Van Allen. If I didn't, make sure to comment below, because I can always make another video that is not alive, in which I could sum up everything that I talked about on this live and make a shorter video for those people who have a short attention span. I know they ain't gonna be trying to look at this, 2-hour live. As you can see, I got more coming. And it's gonna keep coming. We're gonna keep exposing all these people and they lies. Clearly, that's what they doing. With that being said, I enjoyed spending this little time giving y'all a quick little update on Lisa Van Allen. The whole purpose in me pointing her out tonight was because, again, she's been very active on social media, dick riding for Tim Savage. So let's just put a squeeze on Lisa Van Allen. Let's just share some information about Lisa Van Allen. Everybody have a great night. Pray for R. Kelly.